Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is RJ. Well, 2022 is coming to an end, so I thought I would do a bit of a roundup on Ultera, what has been brought to us and what we've got to look forward to. So keep watching. Hey guys, RJ here and welcome to another video. And remember, if this is your first time visiting my channel and you want to learn more about how to earn cryptocurrency for free, about cloud mining sites, crypto investments and lots of other crypto related stuff, hit that subscribe button and don't forget to tag that notification bell so you're alerted to all my latest content as it comes online. Okay, so here we are, looking forward to what Ultera is going to be bringing us in 2023. Now obviously you can see here on the we are currently on the CMG website. Now the reason why that is there is basically because I'm doing a bit of a comparison as to what we have now and to what Cyril and the team are going to be bringing us for 2023. Now I am so excited about what is coming because, you know, obviously you guys get, if you're tapped into all the social streams that Cyril and his team post on, you've probably got most of the information, probably 90% or 95% of the information out there. But there's obviously small amounts of information that I've been able to retrieve, which I try to get over to you guys, but you might not have all seen that. So, you know, I'm really excited because I know a lot of stuff that's coming, which I'm going to try and give you as much of a sort of insight to the future of CMG and Ultera as we go through this video. So for those of you that are not familiar with what CMG and what Ultera will be in the coming months, I mean we're only a month or so away from the beta launch of Ultera, you know, and that's why I'm doing this video. So basically, like I say, for those of that you don't know, so CMG, as it's currently known, is a sort of a multiplayer, mass multiplayer RPG that basically you can do quests, you can build up obviously your accounts, but you can also mine crypto in. So basically, the site that we're looking at now is the standard CMG site. Now, this has been updated a couple of times. We are on CMG version 2 right now. And as you can see here, we've got the bits up and that's what we're mining, which is CMG's derivative, or sorry, CMG's, I can't think of the word, basically version of Bitcoin. And then you've got the dogs, lits, trons, all that there, and they are basically their version of those basically. And you can also see that CGT, which is the current in-game currency, also mines alongside. So basically anytime any coin I pick to mine, CGT will mine alongside that, so you are building the in-game currency at the same time, which is really good. And then obviously using the game, you open up your account. You basically, everybody starts off as a miner because that was the sort of real premise for the game, because it's called the crypto mining game. So sort of, although it's quite funny because mining is in the title, but it's not actually sort of the primary thing in the game. More the RPG side of it is sort of like the main basis of the game, and then the sort of mining is kind of layered on top of that. And then through the game you'll do missions, you'll do tasks, you'll go out in the world, collect items which will then boost your account, all that kind of thing. So it does have that real sort of MMORPG feel to it. It takes place over a very large sort of gameplay world, but it has its limits, and it is very much sort of done in the guise of almost like an 8-bit sort of, not, how can I put it? It's a great game, but it's not sort of, doesn't have the feel of a great game. And when you look at it, I think it's, for many people, I think it's hard to take it seriously as an MMORPG that people are going to be talking about, that people are going to go, you need to go and play this. And that is the thing with CMG, is basically it has its limitations. If we drop into the world, this is the world, this is the sort of gameplay world, as it were. This is sort of what we're faced with, and this is sort of how we play the game. So, we have each big square, as it were, each big tile is then separated into smaller tiles, and each of those tiles is represented by a coordinate, which is shown up here, and you can zip off to different places, search different areas, and obviously you've got, you'll pick up the various crypto coins. You can pick up CGT, you can pick up mining boosts, you can pick up energy or hashing power, you can pick up crystals, all these things that you would associate with an MMORPG. So, like I say, the ingredients are there for it to be a great game. But because obviously this was developed quite a lot of years ago, it sort of ended up, I think, becoming a little stagnant, in the sense of how it looks, how it feels, and how it plays has always stayed the same. But they have added different aspects and different features to the game to upgrade it, to make it better. And it is so much better from the first time I played it, just because of the extra features that they've added. But Cyril, who is that gentleman on the right hand side of the screen, he is basically the sort of the leading light in the team, and he's decided that rather than it just becoming CMG version 3, the next update, he wanted to do something different. He wanted to take the game to the next level, to the point where, like I say, people are talking about it. People are saying, you need to go and check out Ultera. This is a game that is well worth playing, and you can earn yourself some free crypto through the P2E mechanism, and that is play to earn, for those that are not quite sure what P2E is. But yeah, and that is what they've decided to do. So over the last year or so, various things have came into fruition. We've had sneak peeks at stuff, and like I say, for me, I am very excited of what is to come. So what was the first thing that we got to see, that really started to tempt us, really started to get those juices flowing? And that was the world map. Like I say, this is sort of what we were at. It's basically like a flat, square by square way to work. That is how we were basically playing the game. And then, like I say, this was dropped on us. No, that is not what was dropped on us. This was dropped on us. So this is the new world map. This is Ultera at its essence. So we're looking at, I believe it's 7 different continents, if we count them. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, 7 different continents. And that essentially equates to 7 different large missions, which apparently comes to hundreds of hours of gameplay. Now, don't be put off by that, but that is essentially sort of, gearing itself towards that MMORPG gamer. Those people that want to get involved into and deep into a world like this and then just disappear and just basically, doing the missions, doing the tasks, building your character up with the abilities, different skill sets, all that kind of stuff. But like I say, we also have the P2E aspect of it. So, which is absolutely brilliant. And we're going to get into that in just a bit. But the next thing that was brought to us after, obviously, we saw the world map and it was like, wow, okay, so this is something that, you know, could be really cool. So the next thing that was brought to us was the class system. Now, this is something, like I said, that is totally different to the original setup of CMG. The original setup of CMG is, like I said, everybody was a miner. So essentially you couldn't really alter your character. So basically you just, by default, you were a miner, and then you just did the missions, you did the tasks, you collected your items, and you built up your character. That was it. But with the introduction of now the class systems, you can be a corporatist, which is these male and female on the top left. You've got the eco-activists right next to them. Below the corporatists, you've got the hackers. Then you've got the mercenaries. And then on the very far right, top and bottom, the miners. Now you'll notice each character is represented by a male and female avatar. But Cyril and the team decided to go one step further. What they've also done is added a droid version of every character. So if you don't want to be a male or you don't want to be a female of that particular class or character, you can pick a droid version of each character, which I think is absolutely brilliant. It just, for me, it adds another aspect to the class system. And obviously, being a droid, now that brings different skill sets. That brings different abilities. You know, even male, female, you know, you've got different aspects. You've got different skills. You've got different abilities. You know, all, you know, and then each one can be built up and upgraded and all that kind of stuff through doing the missions and tasks and basically everything in the game. Now, a lot of you I see out there on things like Discord and in the discussions on Twitter and all this stuff, sort of saying, well, you know, I think the mercenaries are going to be the strongest because, you know, they're military trained, you know, they know weapons, all that kind of stuff. And then other people are going, yeah, but surely the hackers, because hackers basically can retrieve any information from anywhere. And, you know, in a lot of ways, information is king. You know, I've heard that term many times, information is king. And then other people will say, yeah, but if you're a miner, now miners, they know all about encryption and stuff like that, as well as hackers, but miners cannot be hacked. So surely that is the way to go because the hackers can't get you and all this kind of stuff. But Cyril has put pay to all of that. Now, obviously, each class will have its strengths and have its weaknesses. But what you have to realize is gameplay itself actually determines the characteristics of who you pick. Now, what does that mean? Now, obviously, initially, when you sign up or open an account, which are obviously all are completely free, you will get to pick who you are, your class system. But depending on how you play the game, that will actually determine on what class you end up in. So basically, in the sense of I could pick a mercenary, because if I say I go with the majority, everybody says pick mercenary, I go with the majority, but I play the game like a hacker, right? Eventually, what will happen is that your character will start to change because of the skill sets that you are building up, because of the missions that you are doing, and various things like that. And then, you know, somewhere down the line, your character may no longer be a mercenary. They might be a hacker. Same thing for anything. You could start off as a corporatist, but you could end up as a mercenary. You could start off as an eco-activist and end up as a miner because of how you play the game. And I think that is something so cool, because the thing is, the great thing with that is, yes, you pick the character, but essentially your gameplay determines how your character evolves and where you end up in the end, which I think is such a cool thing. I just think it is so cool that, you know, essentially you're not just stuck, right, this is me. Because the thing is as well is that you will find that depending on how you play the game, that obviously, you know, some characters will suit that better than other characters. So if you were, say, you picked a mercenary, but in fact how you played the game did not suit the mercenary character, well, then you're stuck. But because of this way your character evolves, you're not. So essentially adaptation saves you from being have picked the wrong thing. So, you know, like I say, because we don't know, you know, no one knows how the whole thing is going to unfold and what you're going to be doing, because no one's used the platform yet. So essentially when you first go in, you're just like, right, yeah, I'm going to pick that. I'm going to pick that character, or I'm going to pick that character. That character's got a really big sword, so I'm going to pick that character. But like I say, the way you play the game then essentially evolves that character and then determines where you end up with that character in the end, which I think is really, like I say, I know I keep repeating myself, I just do think it's a really cool mechanism. Okay, so with the crypto mining game, the other big thing which obviously attracted a lot of people to the platform was the whole thing that we could earn cryptocurrency. Now, essentially, like you say, is like you saw, is that we were mining cryptocurrency at the beginning. And the thing is as well is if we go back to the mining room, you will see we have a certain amount of H power. Now, this was something that was always a bit of a sticking point for a lot of players. Now, basically, you could build up your H power as much as you wanted, but in the CMG system, only 1,000 H power went towards your mining. So once you passed 1,000, that did not, you know, any extra did not affect the mining or your mining whatsoever. So they did add other ways that you could upgrade your mining equipment, so that then boosted your mining again, but your H power did nothing. So a lot of people had a bit of an issue with that. But the cool thing is, when we move into Ultera, the VMPs, which stands for Virtual Mining Pool, will actually be mining pools. Now, right now, they're not. They're essentially sort of a group of people. You know, obviously, you guys know I've got a VMP. I've got 10 or 11 members. Actually, it's about 20 members, I think we've got now. And then basically what we do is we go out there, we collect victory points, we battle other members for victory points, and then there's a leaderboard and we try and move ourselves up the leaderboard to get as many rewards as possible. But there's no real connection to the mining from that VMP. It's, you know, it's sort of like, it doesn't really... The VMP has nothing to do with the mining, basically. But, like I say, with Ultera, that is going to totally change. So, this is going to be what mining pools are going to be looking like. Well, this is sort of like the mining simulator aspect of Ultera. And that is, like it shows on here, the virtual mining pools... Everybody's mining power or H power will be put together, and then we will earn coins according to how much power we have. Like you see at the bottom, VMP1, VMP2, VMP3, VMP4, VMP5, and then obviously it shows payouts and stuff like that. And the other really cool thing about this is that Cyril and the team have actually implemented an in-game blockchain. So it's not like that it's just like, yeah, whatever. It's they're actually implementing a proper in-game blockchain, which will prevent cheating and abuse of the system and all that kind of stuff. So any payouts that we get will be right and as they should be, and everybody will be getting their just rewards for how much they input into the game. And also the nice thing from this is it suddenly makes earning or building up your H power worthwhile again. It really does, because like I say, the more power you can add to your virtual mining pool, the more you're gonna earn. So bear that in mind. So VMP members, just bear this in mind when we move over to Ultera, that not only are we going to be collecting our victory points, is we must be building H power as well. Come on, we've got to get that. We've got to start earning some of that crypto. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so obviously from there, the in-game currencies that we're going to be using is we have two. So what's going to happen is you CGT, anybody that has already got a crypto mining game account, your account, once Ultera becomes open to everybody, your account will be migrated over to Ultera, and I think pretty much all of anything that you have in your account, I believe, I could be wrong, but I'm fairly certain that anything you hold in your account in the sense of H power, in the sense of recyclables, in the sense of whatever, will be migrated over. But CGT will become WoWware. And what is WoWware? Here we go. So WoWware, the WoWware is a native token. WoWware is the native token of Ultera Online. It will be used to purchase any NFT content related to Ultera Online, like among others, purchases and upgrades to NFT housing and houses equipment. So obviously anything you hold in your apartment or anything like that, so like mining machines and stuff like that you actually have in your apartment, you will use WoWware to purchase that. Purchases and upgrades to NFT vehicles. Remember, we've got cars, we've got flying cars, we've got bikes, hover bikes, you know, all that kind of cool stuff that is going to be added to Ultera. Purchases and upgrades to NFT players equipment, mint NFT trading cards from a level 15 in-game trading card. So basically anything sort of connected to your personal purchases, you will be using WoWware. That is what you're going to be using. The other coin that you're going to be using is Ultera, which is this. And then it says here, in order to facilitate the gameplay, the Ultera, which is obviously another game currency, will be used as the game currency. So yeah, so with Ultera, players will be able to find and purchase common items, so like energy drinks and stuff like that. Pay in-game fees, so obviously on your apartment rental, energy, means of transport, mercenaries, etc. Upgrade a trading card to level 15, and any other useful in-game transactions. So like I say, you've got your two different currencies, and so obviously you use one for basically, like as we saw a certain set of items, and then you use WoWware for the other type of items. So which I think is really good. But what you've also got to realize is WoWware And this is something that didn't ever happen with CGT, is that WoWworm is going to become a... Trying to think, sorry, brain just gone for brain fade. It will be a currency that will be found in online exchanges. So this is something you're going to find out in the real world. CGT only ever stayed in game. It never really got migrated out to the exchanges. You could find it on things like Etherscan and stuff like that, but it never got to the point of really ever having any value out in the real world. Whereas WoWware will properly be put out there onto marketplaces like Gecko, Market Gecko, Coin Market, all those kind of places. That's where you're going to find it. So it will start to actually have real world value as well as in-game value. So that is going to make a massive difference because, like I say, suddenly the currency starts to become... the in-game currency starts to actually become worth something, where CGT was only ever worth anything in the game. Okay, so from there, the next thing we started to see was actually the implementation and things like, teaser demo videos of what the platform was going to look like. Now, we've already seen the map of the 7 continents, so we know, it looks pretty cool. And apparently the gameplay area is way more extensive than the CMG area. It has a huge area that it covers. I can't remember exactly the sort of how long it would take. There's something crazy like 1,000 years or something like it would take to actually look at every single square or to explore every single square in the Ultera world. It's something like that. I could be way off, but I'm fairly certain it is something crazy like that. But anyway, this is what it will look like to play. And this is sort of interesting. Obviously, this is very early on, but this is a demo video that was I got hold of, that Cyril was kind enough to share with me. So this is basically what we're looking at. So this is the gameplay area. All these sort of blocks and that you're looking at are sort of shops, apartments, all that kind of stuff. You'll see in a second that we'll zoom in. So this is sort of like the bird's eye view of the world. So you can zoom in. You can go to your apartment. You can visit shops. Obviously, even now they're adding NPCs, so non-player characters that you can have interactions with. This that you're looking at now is a very early apartment, which obviously it was only a couple of walls, nothing on the floor, but it gave you an idea of sort of like, okay, this is sort of like, a small apartment or a mid-sized apartment, and an idea of the kind of areas you're going to be able to explore in this game, which I'm really excited for. Some people might even say, oh, it's going to be far too complicated. I don't believe it will be. I think basically what it's showing is the diversity of the game, and the thing is, it's like, how can I say it? It's like, when people say to me, oh, it's going to be too complicated, I like CMG, it's easy. But the thing is, it's like this. The way I look at it is, developers, they have a duty to create a fun, engaging, and challenging game. There's nothing worse than a game that is too easy, I think, because you just get bored of it. But at the same time, I also think it's the duty of the player to learn how to play the game, because then the two sides come together, and then you have an absolutely brilliant time, and you get involved with the game, and you understand the game. And at the end of the day, as long as the developers have done their job, and then you guys out there learn how to play the game, because there will be different mechanics to it. They're going to be, but give it a chance. And I think you're going to really, really like it. Like that snippet that we've just seen, I'm excited. The fact that you can run around on the map and you're going to interact with NPCs, you can talk to NPCs, you can get information from NPCs, all this stuff which is going to help you on your missions and your tasks and all that kind of stuff. And it's just going to be so much more engaging. And I think everybody, I could be wrong, but I think most people that play CMG are going to go, wow, this is something completely different, but yet it is brilliant. And the thing is, as well, is a lot of it is going to be very similar in the sense of you're still going to be doing your missions, you're still going to be completing tasks, but it's how you're going to be doing it. Imagine that you can go from your apartment, you can jump in a taxi, go to the airport or the Hyperloop, and zip off to another continent. Or you can, go to the shop and buy mining machines to be in your apartment. All these kind of stuffs, which are just going to be so cool. And I just sat, I'm getting even more excited just talking about this. But anyway, obviously after all that, like I said, that was an early snippet of what it will look like. So, since then, Cyril and the team have been creating a lot of outdoor and indoor stuff. They've basically created a preset builder to work with in order to customize the entire environment depending on their needs. So depending on the team's requirements, they can just sort of stick stuff into this sort of preset builder and create whatever they require for that area of the world or whatever. So, this all takes time. But, what is really cool is obviously things have been moving forward at a nice steady pace. So if we look at this is sort of one of the updated looks. So basically what this is, you're looking at a corporate building tower right here, and then you've got like an airport or a Hyperloop station here. You've got a sort of shopping area around here, and then they're also looking at navigation. So because obviously it's not just going to be like we currently have in CMG, a flat tile. You are in the world. And the thing is that video I showed only showed really the bird's eye view, but you can go right down to ground level and be running around on the streets. So to help you with this, they basically needed to come up with some kind of system that we could use to navigate. So what they did was they came up with this, which is sort of like a map. So you can bring this up. Obviously, you can figure out where you are on the map, where you want to go, and then from that point, you will be able to navigate your way around. So essentially, it's like a sat-nav, but for Ultera. So, and I think, again, this is something that adds a new sort of feature to the game. And I do think it's also you're going to find it is a requirement to use Ultera and get the best out of Ultera. Obviously, I'll be interested to hear once the whole game starts. You're going to see me playing the game. I'll give you as many hints and tips and stuff like that as I go through the game. But as always, you guys out there, I know you have that real community spirit, so I'm sure if you guys come across something and think, yeah, that works really well for me, or, you know, go here and collect this or whatever, I know you guys are, you know, really great like that. So it's going to be a bit of a team effort, I think, when we first get into this, but obviously I will give you, you know, my insights and as much help as I can as well. So like I said, is that, you know, not only are Cyril and the team working on outdoor stuff, they are also working on indoor stuff. So that is going to be things like shopping malls, that is going to be like apartments, all that kind of stuff. And, you know, this is going to be one of the sort of early presets that they sort of basically developed. Now, the cool thing I like about this is basically that they are coming up with literally hundreds of different items for in your apartment, for different things in you know, different indoor areas to give different looks to, so you understand you're in a different area or a different environment. But the cool thing is what I like is the amount of effort they're putting into these apartments, because, you know, what is better? What can't be? Hang on, I'm getting my words mixed up. I think I'm just too excited. You know, the best thing to make you feel immersed in this is being able to build your own apartment, to decorate your own apartment. So when you walk into your apartment, it's exactly the same as when you walk into your house, when you walk into your bedroom. Everything there is how you want it, and that is what these guys are doing. So basically, like I say, they're coming up with literally hundreds of these sort of items and sort of presets. So basically, everybody can have a bespoke apartment. So you can pick the bed you want. You can pick the style of shower. If you want plants in your apartment, you can have plants. If you want to have a pink sofa, you can have a pink sofa. If you want a little corner for all your mining machines, you can have a little corner for all your mining machines. And this is what I think is going to really sort of engage you guys, is because all of this stuff, you know, rather than just going, right, you've got 3 different versions of an apartment, you've got 1, 2 and 3. That's it. You choose one of them, and if you don't like it, tough. You know, this way it's all custom, and that is what I think is so cool. And also as well, this is all stuff, again, like I said, it takes time. So, you know, I realize that, you know, a lot of people have been waiting a long time for Ultera, but believe me, I think when it arrives, you guys are going to be happy. Don't get me wrong, while you're going through alpha and while you're going through beta, there are going to be teething problems, but it's up to us to try and relay those teething problems back to Cyril and the team in a very polite, positive and constructive way, and hopefully they will be able to get them sorted out in quick fashion, and then we can get on with playing the game, because at the end of the day, that is what we want. So obviously these are what look like small apartments. They could even be apartment pods or something like that. And then if we quickly look here, so this is your penthouse or something like that. I mean, look at that. I mean, you got a double bed there. You got a double bed there. I think this is a shower, this pod in the center. Then you got sofas, you got chairs, you know, you got like, you know, a chill out area, all that kind of stuff. And this is all, like I say, this is all going to be available in the game, which is, I just think is going to be so cool. I mean, obviously, you know, if you want something this big, you're going to have to build up to it. You're going to have to sort of spend your WoW or your Nutra, you know, and build up to this. But once you get there, you know, I just think it's going to be so cool. I just think it is going to be so cool. And I bet people are out there going, how many times has he said it's going to be so cool? I just, with stuff like this, I get so into it, and I just really get excited. And I'm just hoping, I'm not sort of overplaying it, because I could get there and just think, it's not quite excited as what I hoped. But I seeing these pictures and all the chat that I've had with Cyril and the talk of the whole interaction between NPCs and stuff like that, I just think the game is going to be, it's just going to be such a big step away from CMG. And like I say, I think you guys are going to be really, really pleased when it does arrive. So, shopping malls, this is sort of what we're looking at, sort of shopping centres or whatever. Is you got a couple. I think these are like apartment pods. Maybe these are like little apartment pods. I don't believe anyone's got a. They could be just 2 bedrooms. They could be 2 bedrooms with ensuite showers, and then this is your whole sort of chill out area. I can't believe anyone's got an apartment that big. Surely, but that is so cool. Whatever. Because it's like you've got so many different aspects to it. You've got like these sort of sleeper pods. And then you've got computers, you've got various different things in here. Obviously, you've got to realise that what you're looking at now is sort of what Cyril and the team have thrown together to test out these different, these different items, these different features and that. So they're basically throwing them into these sort of spaces. Also, remember that Ultera has a couple of ways, if not more ways, maybe it is only a couple, passive income. Now, a lot of you guys have recently asked me about passive income and whether Ultera, once it goes over to CMG, will give passive income like other programs that we use. And it will. Basically in the guise of apartment rental. Now, that is one of the ways I definitely know there is passive income. The other passive income, I guess, is going to be the mining, of course. Yes, the VMP, the mining pool, you build up your power. Everybody is earning from that in one way or another at a certain level, depending on how much power your VMP has. But, like I say, apartment rental. So if you decide you're on, say, let's say you're on continent 1, yeah? But you're going to go and do a mission on continent 3. You've got a nice apartment. You can put that up to rent. So people, it's a bit like Airbnb. So people can basically rent your apartment off you. That will give you a passive income of, I'm not sure which coin it will give you, but it gives you a passive income of either WoW or Nutra. Admittedly, when you get to continent 3, if you're going to stay there and you decide you want somewhere to sleep, you will then rent an apartment there. But I'm not sure that is mandatory, but I do know that basically being in your apartment helps you build up energy. So obviously you can buy energy, things like the energy canisters that we have at the moment. What is it? The 10, 20, 30, 50, 100, 200 energy cans. So you can buy them. But also as well, resting and sort of hanging out in your apartment will build energy as well. So I guess if you're off doing a mission and you've got enough of those energy cans with you, you don't need to rent an apartment. But you can if you want. But like I say, before you go, rent your apartment, and then that's going to give you a passive income into your account, so you can pay, for your rentals, you can pay for any transport that when you're zipping around, stuff like that, and it's all going to be good. And then obviously, like I say, the other passive income is going to be your mining. So like I say, that's, for new players, obviously, as with any program, you've got to build up your accounts, get to the point where you're at a good level, then go and join a VMP, then you can actually earn mining. But if you have mining machines in your apartment, I believe you can earn from mining that way as well. So you could have mining machines in your apartment, and that's sort of like your personal mining, and then you can join a VMP, and that's your pooled mining. So I believe that's how it works. Obviously Cyril is probably screaming at the screen saying that's not how it works. But I think that's how it works. But anyway, like I say, you know, there is going to be a few aspects to this game that you can earn passive income. And I think for many people, that is going to be a real big plus, and also a real draw for new players. Okay, so that's pretty much obviously the gameplay aspect. Now, just to round things off, Cyril was kind enough to give me the seed round documentation. Now, I'm not going to go too much into this because obviously this is sort of more geared towards investors. Now, if there are any people that are interested or thinking about investing in Ultera online, obviously the seed round is going on right at the moment. Which if you go to ulteraonline.com, I believe it is, you can sort of check that out. But one aspect I would point out from this documentation, which I think that investors would be very interested in, and I personally think is a great what's the word? A great sort of weapon in your advertising arsenal for your company, is the fact that if you're an investor and you have you have say products, and you're a company, you have products, one of the things that you can do is actually put your branding on certain items in the game. So say, for instance, let's say, I don't know, say Intel. First thing that popped into my head. Or let's say Netflix or some gaming house. You can actually put your logo onto certain items in the game. Now, the other thing you can do as well is you have a dashboard which allows you to post billboards in the game. Now, don't worry, for players, that is not going to detract from the gameplay. But for advertisers and investors, you can put, like I say, virtual billboards into the game so people can read, say, about your latest product, and like I say, you can brand stuff. But the thing is as well, is obviously with advertising, the best advertising is targeted advertising. But with a lot of stuff, you'll put adverts out there and, you're hoping it will hit the demographic that you're aiming for. If your demographic is connected with crypto or connected with gaming, well, if you're advertising in a game, especially a P2E crypto game, you've got a captive audience. Your adverts are going to be going straight to your demographic. They are going to be there for people to read. Your branding is going to be on certain items in the game. That branding logo is obviously going to be connected with you. People will associate that with you. People will see your billboards. I personally think this is a great opportunity for investors and companies to maybe pick up more business that they wouldn't necessarily get from traditional advertising. And I know that's it. That I'm not going to go on any more about it. Obviously, and I just wanted to say that I personally think that that is a real good thing to point out. Finally, and this is the last thing I'm going to talk about. Now, obviously, a lot of people will know that Cyril and the team recently put out NFTs in the style of their cards. Now you can see one up here. This is the Mouse's NFT in the top right hand corner, and those NFTs are available on OpenSea. Now I've also had a few questions about things like alphas and betas, and also some other people seem a little bit confused about whether you have to buy NFTs to play this game. You do not. Now the thing with the NFTs is obviously essentially they are a boosted version of the card that you hold. Once any of your cards reach level 15, you can purchase the NFT version of that game, of that card, sorry, and those cards can be purchased from OpenSea. But when it comes to the alphas and betas, I did cover this in a recent video I did. If you have certain cards or NFTs of those cards, should I say, so if you have certain NFTs, they will give you early access to the alpha, they will give you early access to the beta, but once the game becomes public, as far as I know, you can play the game for free without those NFTs. The NFTs are purely, it's like a gateway mechanism. So if you've got them, you get early access. If you haven't got them, then simply you just have to wait until the game is put out there, ready for everyone to use, and then you can have free access to that game. So I hope that clears that up. There seem to be a lot of questions about that, but that is it. If you've got NFTs, you get early access. If you don't have NFTs, you just simply have to wait for the game to go full public, and then anybody can access the game for free and start playing. So that's cool. Right. Wow, I think that did go on quite a long while. I really hope that you found it informative and useful. And if you can smash that like button, it really, really does support my channel, which then helps me make more content to help you. So take care, have a great rest of your week, and I'll speak to you soon. Thanks a lot. Bye.